Engineering opinion. The population usually is against foreign adventures and interference with other nations. Quote, so you have to whip them up. And to whip them up, you have to frighten them. End quote. And it's not just with foreign policy. Even domestic programs are subject to extensive propaganda because, quote, there is no reason for the public to be in favor of domestic programs that are harmful to them. End quote. Enter propaganda. Chomsky gives this example about what happened in the US in 1984 under Reagan. The government had programs like armament, that is weapons, and cutting back on social spending. Overwhelmingly, the polls showed people were against military spending, preferring supporting social services. But before the polls, everyone assumed they were the only ones with that crazy idea in their heads. So, it's in the best interest of government to destroy social institutions that bring people together. One of the institutions that remain are churches, religious institutions. In the past, a significant part of dissident activity in the US came from churches. Same with Latin America. This makes me wonder if this is why there's been this massive effort to wed capitalism and religion, the state and religion, so that you take out this massive threat. Because you can't destroy religious institutions in the same way you destroy, for example, community centers. You co-opt them instead, defund them, bring them to your side. I've been thinking about how Christians in Kenya, who are part of the movement, can have this huge impact. The butcher of Sugo, he got a lot of support from the church, and I think that outside his tribal people, this is his most prized base. One thing I think Christians can do is, in protest, refuse to go to church. They can say no more business as usual, not even when it comes to their salvation. Christians who are part of the movement everywhere can say they will not go to church until he goes. Instead, they'll meet in small groups and online and have fellowships together like the first New Testament churches. This is a man who drew so much of his legitimacy from the church. This kind of rejection would be impossible to ignore. It could be every Sunday indefinitely, or even something like they only attend one Sunday service every month at the church. The rest, small home cell groups and online. I feel like the church in Kenya has so much power and they don't even realize it. If people didn't go to church and protest, refusing the business as usual thing until he leaves, that man would be severely weakened. That's a rejection he couldn't possibly handle. And as a bonus, I think going back to small groups, New Testament style, would really grow Christians. #Occupy Churches New Testament edition.